Welcome back to part 14 of the White History series that we're covering on World History is Our History. So let's go on ahead and dig into it. This episode, we're going to be touching on Afghanistan, and we're going to just try to wrap this up in 30 concise bullet points. All right, so one, excavations indicate human presence in Afghanistan roughly 50,000 years ago. Two, farmer communities in the region were among the world's earliest. Number three, urban civilization was up and running by 3000 BC. Mundigak was a Helmand cultural center. Number four, the Indus Valley civilization extended from ancient times to all the way through to modern day Afghanistan. Number five, waves of Indo-Iranian speaking Indo-Europeans from Central Asia came in after 2000 BC. Number six, the region was referred to as Ariana. The Achaemenids incorporated Arachosia, Aria, and Bactria. Number seven, Kabul Valley was mentioned in Darius I's conquests. At that time, I believe the main areas of focus was Arachosia, and at that time, the people were Zoroastrian from a religious standpoint. Number eight, the ethnonym Afghan historically refers to Pashtuns. The phrase or the term Afghanistan was officially used in 1855. I know we're jumping ahead, but just to kind of get that out there early. Number nine, Alexander the Great arrives in 330 BC. The Seleucid Empire would control this area until 305 BC. Number 10, the Silk Road appears in the 1st century BC. Afghanistan prospers in trade due to the Silk Road. Number 11, Parthians, Kushans, Sassanids, Indo-Sassanids, Kittites, Hephthalites, Turk Shahi rule successively, successively. Number 12, Arab Muslims bring Islam to Afghanistan in 642 Christian era, or basically AD. So, just to stay there for a quick moment, it's important to emphasize no religion belongs to a specific race. As indicated just from us touching on Afghanistan, the people of Afghanistan were formerly into the Zoroastrian religion at this time before being introduced to it in 642. So I need y'all to put y'all thinking caps on, think critically. All right, moving on. Syncretism of religions before Islam occurred around this time. You have the Kabul Shahi, who were conquered by the Saffarids, which is bullet point number 13. Number 14, the Ghaznavids rise in the 10th century. Mahmud of Ghazni Islamicizes the region. So in the 10th century, 4 centuries after that brief, or 3.5 centuries after that brief introduction in 642 to Afghanistan, by the 10th century, Mahmud Islamicizes the area or the region. His spread is becoming more of a push to get that religion more known and spread throughout the region. Okay, boom. Moving along. Number 15. Genghis Khan would lead his invasion into Afghanistan in 1219. Number 16. Timur establishes the Timurid Empire in 1370. Babur captures Kabul in the early 16th century. So, while Timur conquered in 1370, it looks like the Timurid Empire lasted a little over 2 centuries before Babur, this next conqueror, came in and then had his run. Bullet point on to number 17. Uzbek Khanate, the Safavids, and the Mughals ruled parts of Afghanistan in the 16th through the 18th centuries. So you have, various factions that some of them external forces, such as the Mughals, and clearly identified the Uzbek, or some of these external forces that it looks like were ruling parts of this country during that 16th to 18th century window. Number 18, we have the Merwais Hotak rebels. They fought against the Safavids in 1709. Number 19, Ahmad Shah Durrani establishes the Durrani Empire in 1747. Number 20, British expeditionary forces come into the region in 1839. At this point, Dost Muhammad Khan surrenders to the British. And it's just interesting to, look at the names, make note. Clearly, Muhammad gives a Muslim emphasis there, while you still have the Khan connection from 1219, of course, when Genghis Khan invaded. That was just interesting. I thought I'd point that connection out there. All right, moving along. Number 21. The Treaty of Gandamak in 1879 makes Afghanistan a British protected state. Number 22. Durand Line, established in 1893. Hazarajat and Kafiristan are conquered. Number 23. Neutral Afghanistan is invited or courted by the powers that be to participate in World War I. Number 24. Amanullah Khan provokes the Third Anglo-Afghanistan War. So far what we're seeing, these people have been in pretty much perpetual warfare, it seems like, throughout the entire run. The fact that they're having a third Anglo-Afghan war, they've been just trying to get these, at this point, the people that we will identify in more recent times now as Europeans, they're trying to get them up out of there, basically. It looks like they finally won because they declared independence in 1919. All right, moving on. Number 25. Amanullah Khan becomes the king of Afghanistan in 1926, where he introduces reforms. 26. Muhammad Zahir Shah reigns from 1933 to 1973. At this point, Afghanistan joins the League of Nations, which of course is the predecessor to the modern United Nations. Number 27, Daoud Khan's coup in 1973 abolishes the monarchy. So you had Muhammad Zahir Shah, which sounds like his lineage might have been, more Persian based, and he's overthrown by the Daoud Khan, who has, once again, there's that name is given a implication of these people either descending from that Genghis Khan line all the way to 1973 from the original invasion of 1219, the Khans. Hey, all right, moving on. Number 28, the PDPA takes power in 1978, leading to the Soviet Afghan War. I ain't going to try to tell you what the PDPA stands for, but a guess off the top of the head, it sounds like it might be the People's Democratic Party of Afghanistan. You can let me know in the comments if that was spot on or close enough or not at all. Moving on, the Taliban emerges in 1994 and they take control in 1996. So to make the little connection to 9/11, how we were informed or introduced to the Taliban, as far as at least America in general, that they were just some evil entity. These are the evil terrorists who destroyed the towers and blah blah blah, yada yada yada. When clearly at the time of 1994, these people were most likely rebels fighting to also help get the Soviet Union up out of their country. These are people that have been dealing with constant invasion. They had to get these people out, get these other people out. So just to give some different perspective there. And then bullet point number 30, you have the US invasion in 2001, where the Afghan interim administration was formed and NATO stayed there until they finally pulled forces out in 2014. So that's as close as I'm coming to the present in the 30 bullet points. But yeah, these people have been in constant battle against outsiders trying to invade. So there it is. Now, the final breakdown in these people, you have a mixture of Caucasians that never left to go and invade what would now be considered modern Europe. These group of Caucasians stayed there in Afghanistan. These people also compose of pure Asians. These people also compose of mulattoes in various ways, meaning Caucasian and Asians. From when Genghis Khan invaded, you have the term, the R word, and pillage. So during the course of these centuries, you have the Asians invading and intermingling with the Caucasians. You had the Muslims coming in and invading and intermingling. You had the Persians invading, coming in certain time periods and intermingling. You get what I'm saying? So it's a collection of various peoples, but a lot of them got that Caucasian's DNA in that blood still dominant. But the irony is, you have basically a lot. Besides all these different groups, you have your Caucasians who never left that would end up being invaded by fellow Caucasians in the form of the British later on, and then by the United States and NATO, which is irony. But we'll wrap this up, and I'll see you next time.